Hi, this is Loredana Nicolai from McKinsey Services. Today we are going to discuss about selling in B2B, especially selling to CEOs and important decision makers in B2B, which is a really hot topic of the day, especially since after weeks of decline, sales metrics seems to show signs of recovery. Please remember this subject is our main topic for the day in the webinar later in a few hours regarding sales tactics that still works during the current crisis. This webinar is going to be powered by MAN Digital in partnership with the B2B growth supporting crisis community, and we're happy to host it. So I'm going to leave a link where you can register to attend the webinar. Coming back to this important topic, there's so much data and information that I want to share. So I'm going to make a really quick overview of the most important information I was able to put together. But first, on a positive note, I am grateful that HubSpot put together really interesting information in terms of how the metrics changed in the last week, and the fact that the volume on created and closed deal is trending right now back up in the right direction. So you can definitely see here how actually the metrics are going up. There's plenty of data in this blog post. Please read it carefully. It's split by industry, it's split by regions and benchmarks, it's split even by marketing channels, right? So you can see, for example, the total marketing emails sent and the open rate versus the pre-COVID benchmarks. So I believe that if you want to target B2B sales around this time, this is a really important blog post that you should read carefully. YPO, as you know, is a really big organization of CEOs of mid to large enterprises, and they put out a study recently where so there's this new survey regarding the latest damaging impacts of COVID. You can see the threats felt by the CEOs with each industry. The hospitality and restaurant, aerospace, of course, is pretty damaged, retail and wholesale and education and so on. Another very interesting outcome of the study is this average point versus the business disruption cycle, right? So you can see how Asia and then Australia and the United States are soon going to be in the revival phase. Again, it's interesting to understand that most of these CEOs expect that the curve is just going up. Only 22% expect aftershocks. So I believe that if we take this into account, we should assume that it's a good moment where we are here, right, in the valley of the U-shape. It's a good moment to start investing in marketing and in aggressive sales. How could you do that? Steve Weinberg put together a white paper on how to sell differently during the COVID. I believe that it's very valuable because it talks from a person's experience, and it shows how you must do much more sales presentation than before, how you have to be careful. Like he has really 7 suggestions on how you should sell now in the new normal, right? So schedule more calls, which is something I've mentioned many times during our webinars, especially in the webinar regarding how to increase your pipeline during the crisis. So take time to prepare. the meeting agenda. It's very important. People's time is very precious, but also you get much more focus from the people that you spoke to these days. So this is why I need to prepare so much better. So there's, I'm actually going to post a link in the comments below so that you can download this paper. And thanks, Steve, for putting this together for us. Another thing that you may want to take into account is the McKinsey Marketing and Sales channel. This is in SlideShare, and what's interesting is they got together many B2B studies with each region, with each industry. And it's important to know the budget changes during and due to COVID, right? Please note that some are about the same. Some budgets are reduced, and as we can see, most budgets are reduced. If you look at the study, they're not dramatically reduced, but they are reduced. But also, there's a high chance that in spaces like IT hardware, for example, the spend is increasing by 25%. In packing, the spend is increasing by 30%. So there are still areas you can tackle out there. The McKinsey Marketing and Sales channels is full of interesting and important documentation regarding B2B customer sentiment, how optimistic they are, how effective the virtual sales model is. And we're going to post in one of the following daily videos why companies are turning to the virtual sales model around this time. For example, digital interactions are twice as important that they were before with the COVID crisis, right? So, but we're going to have another session strictly about that. Coming back to how you should do sales, we've mentioned before the study on the low-touch economy that the Board of Innovation has done about a month ago. There's three main factors on how you should conceive your sales tactics in this time, right? First of all, invest much more in being transparent, being authentic, being personalized in your sales approach. Second of all, swim against the stream of your industry. As we know, all industries are impacted, right? But what a good salesperson and a performance salesperson does is to stream against the current of the industry. Don't look left and right, just be focused, get more sales calls, get more personalized emails, get more interactions via LinkedIn. And then the third thing is test new growth areas to create value, right? Like identify new customer segments. I think we have at least a dozen short videos like this one where we explain what are those customer segments that are growing now or afterwards, what have peaked, and you shouldn't maybe go and orient your efforts towards those, and what are on the downturn, those you shouldn't definitely touch. So please look again at those videos and try to switch to a new customer segment and to a new product and service offering. And we've had a specific video on how there's a methodology that's put together by Harvard Business Review on what are the ways and what are the tactics that you can build a new product and service, or you can pivot to a new product or service offering just to cross this crisis gap. That being said, we look forward to welcome you later today to our webinar series. Today we're going to talk specifically about sales tactics. Our guest of the day is Romeo Mann from Mann Digital. He has a very wide experience. He's been marketing manager with Orange on the digital programs. So I believe that he is one of the best that he can talk about sales and B2B sales in particular, and what are some of the tactics that work right now. This is all based on data and information we've gathered from a whole community of B2B sales professionals. So thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you later today. Bye.